Club with Bryce, Michael, and Ivy. I know a story of high strangeness or two. Let's do this.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Bigfoot Collectors Club, the show where we talk to amazing guests about their personal paranormal history and share stories of high strangeness. I'm your host, Michael McMillan. With me always is your other host,
Bryce Johnson.
and our ultra terrestrial, I almost said pro-gooer, but it's not Halloween. It's because we had the
because of that joy mode powder. You're talking about.
yeah.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that, guys. Mr.
Riley Bray.
How are you, boys?
Oh, very
So good, dude.
We are back in the clubhouse,
Yes.
physical clubhouse this week. It's the first time in a while. We're very excited. There's no guest with us. It's a
First
good
time
old.
in a long while.
First time
Last
in a
time
long
we were here,
while.
dude, I think we exercised Riley's bathroom ghost.
That's true. It's been
true, yeah.
over a year. By the way, I have to say, quick note: no guest this week. It's just a BCC clubhouse hang. We're definitely going to have some high strangeness queued up for you and some other stuff. So don't worry. It's still an episode of the show.
Yeah. Calm down.
Calm down, everybody. But I have to say, Riley, this place has a little bit more of a woman's touch since the last time I was here, if that's not an outdated term.
Yeah, I would say that's accurate.
The ghost bathroom has a sparkly toilet lid now.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And
And there's a lot more Barbie pink around.
And I
There
don't
is a lot
often
more
say
pink.
this. There's beautiful Bigfoot art in there.
There is.
Oh, I missed the beautiful
You
Bigfoot.
missed the
I
Bigfoot
was so
art?
distracted by the starry toilet.
It's a lady Bigfoot in high heels carrying a microphone.
Oh,
I think
I've
she's going
seen
to
it.
a birthday party or something.
Yeah.
Was that some fan art?
It's a friend art.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
It was a portrait of sort of me in my Tommy cupcake mode as Bigfoot. So it's Bigfoot in a little pink dress carrying a microphone.
I love it.
Oh my God. Speaking of Bigfoot art, shout out to my cousin Dusty, who sent me the most amazing piece of art for Expedition Bigfoot. He engraved it into this piece of wood.
Whoa.
That's marbled with it's incredible. I will put pictures on this post.
Do you have a Instagram shout out for him?
Yeah, I just did. No, I'm not sure what his Instagram is, but Dusty Gulick family, thank you. Wow, that is beautiful.
Oh, that's you. Your voicemail's going off.
Oh, no, that's me,
probably
actually.
a solar panel. That's all voicemail is to me today, is just solar panel sales. And
They are constantly trying to sell me a goddamn solar panel.
yeah, who even
And I'm like, I
uses
love one, but
Yeah.
I can't pay for that.
I don't even use voicemail anymore. It's impossible now. It's
Who
like
does?
Yeah.
Do you remember when we used to have to like call girls on the phone and actually
call
talk to them?
girls. I remember call girls. No, I mean yes.
You mean last week?
Yes. All right. Well, let's get into it. We have some fun lined up for you guys. Before we get into our first segment, Riley, why don't we? Oh, yeah. Let's nominate our 5-star Club Scout of the week, please.
Let's do it. And this is Remang.
Remind.
Several N's. And they say, "Gimme that strange." Been listening to this guy since the first release. My dream is to be famous enough to get an invite to nerd out on high strangeness with these guys one day. I feel like they would appreciate all of my cryptid tattoos. Nice.
Oh,
Believe
I
it
love that.
to everything. 5 stars.
All right, on Remang.
Well, you're famous enough to have your review on the show, so
Yeah.
that's a start.
Yeah, here you are. Remang left us a 5-star review on Apple Podcast. If you wouldn't mind doing the same, it helps get the show to more people, and also we might read it on the air. I also had another message from, actually came in on our BCC Gmail at BigfootCollectorsClub@gmail.com, or BigfootCollectorsClub@gmail.com, I should say. This is from listener Jonathan Resendez. And Jonathan asks, guys, can you comment on the new Ari Aster movie that's coming out called Sasquatch Sunset? Ari Aster produced, I have to say. The synopsis says that it has Bigfoot's legit having sex, and the actors they got are going to be hilarious to watch as a Sasquatch family in the woods. Of course, Jonathan, this is well on my radar.
Yeah.
It's Jesse Eisenberg and it's Riley Keough.
Yeah. Elvis's granddaughter.
I mean, this movie was made for us.
You think we don't know about this?
And I do think it is, from what I've heard from the film festivals it's been in, it's like dialogueless.
Yeah.
It's just observing Sasquatch in action in the woods.
Yeah.
I just want to say, first and foremost, we welcome any and all Bigfoot movies to the stage of combat. Bring it.
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely.
we're for sure going to. So it comes out on April 12th.
Yeah.
2 weeks and then from this record, and then I think it's going to be on streaming
Yeah.
a week after that.
I'll
So
pull up our movie club calendar on the Patreon. Michael.
exactly. So Bryce, you beat me to it. This will be our movie club edition that probably drops in May. So if you haven't been over on BCC the other side, not every single month, but I would say 10 times out of the year we do a
movie club.
We do a movie
episode.
club,
It's
and we
so
have a
fun.
long list of Bigfoot movies that we've already watched, and I cannot wait to add this to that list. Not all of them are Bigfoot movies, but
There's a good lot of them, though.
there are a lot of them.
Oh man,
I saw the preview for this when I went to a movie the other night, and
Yeah.
I was so excited.
I know.
Okay.
I
It
wonder
looks hilarious.
What,
I
it
mean,
does.
this
I wonder
might
what
be-
the angle is.
This
you
might be
know?
like we got to go to a movie theater and watch it
We should
together.
definitely go see it in the
field
theater.
trip.
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
All right.
let's go.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, BCC Boys Clubhouse hang.
Good to
We're
be back in the
already doing it.
Clubhouse.
I want to check in with both of you now. Usually we ask our guests, what is your personal paranormal history? We have no guest today, but we all have personal paranormal histories, and I'm wondering if any of you guys, I'm putting you on the spot here, have had any updates. Is anything spooky or high strangeness related happened to you lately?
Well, I know everyone's always asking about the bathroom ghost, but I have to report I don't
Good vibes.
I don't think there's a bathroom ghost anymore.
Great.
I don't know. Maybe that's just wishful thinking. I still do get the heebie-jeebies sometimes in that corner of the house late at night.
Does
but-
that help get the last little bit of pee out? The-
Yeah.
oh, thanks.
I do make that noise when I pee. But yeah, no, I haven't really. There's been nothing truly out of the ordinary or anything. So it feels this space is clear.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. I mean, the hills, around Los Angeles, I do think are filled with strange spirits.
No doubt.
There's some weird magic in LA. So some of that stuff could just be something passing through too. I
Riley's
think.
in those 70s music hills of Hollywood, Los Angeles. So there's some
Get your mic a little.
Oh, right.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Oh, I thought you were saying
You were-
don't.
you were getting
I
pretty-
was being very general.
I know, I thought he was telling you to dial it
with
in.
that mic.
Me too. Riley was giving me no.
I was like,
He's
don't
just saying,
talk
get
about
the mic
No, I'm
closer.
just
Don't
like-
give him my address.
yeah, right.
Just start waving that thing
Riley's
around.
little place in the woods of LA.
Listen, LA's Bigfoot and spirit entities already have your address, so it's fine.
That's true. Yeah, I'm not
We
worried about
should
that.
try conjuring a Bigfoot out here in the hills. Why not? Why not
Hollywood
try?
Bigfoot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there are reports of like I would have to check sort of metropolitan Los Angeles Bigfoot reports, but I wouldn't be surprised if there was reports in and around this area.
Now, if we're saying that it can hang out underground or it's some sort of
Infiltrate Edwards Air Force Base.
yes, interdimensional entity, then we already know that LA has allegedly has tunnels under downtown.
A fucking chasm of tunnels, dude.
Okay.
Mm.
Now is
A
that
network.
Is that real? Do we know that
Yes.
for sure? Is that
Yes.
confirmed? We need to look at the LA tunnel stuff because
That's
we've
funny
never
that you
done an
brought this up, 'cause
episode.
I've actually, this isn't paranormal, but it's conspiracy. I've been totally down the rabbit hole about underground bases and tunnels.
Are you on the
lately.
dumbs right now?
You're on dumb
Yeah.
rabbit hole. You're on
Uh-huh.
a dumb rabbit hole.
I am
right
on
now?
a dumb,
You're in the
stupid
dumb hole.
rabbit hole.
It's just a dumb hole.
I'm way down in that dumb
Deep
hole.
underground. What is it? Military
Military
base.
base.
Dude, you talking about deep underground military bases?
I
Fuck
am.
yeah, son.
Well, and
And
then
yeah.
they say that
We'll talk
there
after the
there's
show.
the lizard people live under
That's right.
in the tunnels under Los Angeles. So we got to
Yeah.
look up some of this.
I was also
stuff.
reading about, do you know where the deepest man-made hole in the world is?
No.
Mm.
It's in Russia. It was
Oh.
a research site where they were trying to do, research how far we can drill and what's there.
Oh,
Yeah,
I've heard
see if
about
they could
this.
find the layer of
Yes.
Golgotha.
Yeah, but it's abandoned now.
Right.
They just gave
It
up.
wouldn't
So
close,
there's
right? Like it like they hit like some like lava flow or
they hit
something.
all kinds of crazy shit, like super hot hydrogen that
Keep
was like
drilling.
boiling
Keep
and
going.
like
Now it's just a dumping ground for.
we cannot. We're on the bits.
It's-
Keep going. Keep drilling.
It's just now that's just like the collective dumping ground for like old trash and bodies.
yeah.
I mean,
If
no
you
one's
want-
gonna
you know
find
You know
it.
what is crazy also is that we haven't even gotten halfway through the crust. That's the furthest
Right.
we've ever drilled.
Right.
And it's not even
Yeah.
breaking
Wow.
through the first
Yeah.
layer.
We're 1 week from now, you're going to be a Hollow Earth guy.
All I'm saying is we don't really know what's down there. Could be dinosaurs.
There are large apes and dinosaurs down there for sure.
I'm just saying. Could be.
Bryce, what about you? Any fun, spooky stuff
Yeah.
been on your radar lately?
Yeah, this is on my radar. I feel like I'm strengthening my psychic muscles.
Oh,
go
do you
on.
have an example?
Yeah, so I'm just sort of like, yeah, okay, I do. Like, I'll feel like, for me, the way I think psychicism works for me is like I take in as much information as I can, and then somebody will come to say something to me, and I go, I already know what you're going to say.
Okay.
And they don't even need to say it, and I'm usually right. Now, maybe that's mentalism, but there's also like times where I'm
Dawn, like, do the dishes.
Yeah.
I already know what you're gonna say.
Right. But there are times where I'm just trying to like practice it as, you know what it is? It's listening to that really small voice that's sort of outside of yours. That it's not so much that too, but yeah, I'm just trying to work it as a muscle, like because I feel like psychically I can strengthen it, and so I want to see if I can get to a place where I can, you know.
Do you know what I'm thinking right now?
You're crazy.
Yes, it works. Oh my God, he's psychic. It works.
Wait, hold on. Let's try one. Okay.
It's so good to be back in the Clubhouse.
I'm gonna picture a type of fruit, and I'm really gonna see
Okay,
it.
I got like
I'm picturing it in my
raspberries
mind.
and a banana.
No, it's a pineapple.
Oh, I rushed
You're
it.
thinking of Donkey Kong Jr.
I didn't clear.
You didn't even.
get
I was
neutral.
still drawing it in my mind.
I know.
You gotta give him a chance.
It's like what Darcy said. Darcy Stanforth, I got to do that. She said, remember, go neutral. I always love that advice.
Yeah.
But, so I should have gone neutral. I rushed it.
Well, it's okay. Well, keep us posted.
I will. But for now,
I like
it.
the
Why
thing about
not?
Bryce that I always love is there's always some type of metaphysical experiment going on with this man.
100%.
Like
All the
he's always
time.
running it in the background of his life. You'll never know it, but it's happening.
Yeah.
It's very true. I'm always exploring, investigating. Like, yes, absolutely. Experimenting is a great word.
Riley, we have to get you to have a tarot card reading with past guest Ken Boggle. I just had one
yeah.
over the weekend.
You did.
I did. It was great, and I will say Ken was lovely. It was very wild because, and I don't know if this is as much as I brought to it as he did, but it was funny because the cards brought up not only a ton of stuff that I'm talking about in therapy right now, so this felt sort of like an extension of therapy. And I'm not, when I go into these things, I'm also like, I want to get the most out of it too. So I'm not going to shy away from withholding, you know what I mean? Just to see if this is magic or not.
You're not
this isn't a
testing it at
litmus
this point.
test.
I'm not testing it. I'm just like, let's just engage this as a thought experiment and see where it goes. So it wasn't super spooky, but I will say the thing that was really cool about it is that a lot of, I said this on Ken's episode, that I'm not in the habit of it, but I do dabble in tarot, and a lot of the cards that pop up for me on just one card pulls, or I'm like, what should I be aware of today? Like, what is a guiding principle? What is in my way? Those all predominantly showed up more than once in this reading to me, which is wild because out of this deck of what it's 50, it's not 52. How many cards? Let's
I actually
Google
don't
it.
know.
Let's
Yeah,
double
let me
check.
look.
Yeah.
It's 59 maybe. Sorry, everybody. I'm not an expert. I dabble.
We've been making a paranormal podcast for this long. We're like, well,
I don't know, but I got so much dumb
78
shit.
cards.
78. Okay. There's so much dumb
22
shit.
major arcana,
and
56 minor arcana.
56. That's where I'm getting the 50.
Yeah.
So, but it was just interesting that like those cards showed up again for somebody else. You know, I thought that was interesting.
Confirmation
Yeah,
is what that is.
Yeah. And listen, I'm sure Ken's a busy guy, but he's got a website. I recommend. He was reasonably priced for a guy who's on TV.
Yeah.
So I had a great time, great reading. Thank you, Ken, if you're listening.
This is a great example of sort of strengthening that psychic muscle. I was sort of traveling about, and I carry with me Aleister Crowley's Thoth tarot cards, right? And I sometimes, if I want a quick reading, I'll splash them on the bed and see what pops out, right? But sort of trying to be psychically aware, I really try and see what card wants to pull out for me. So if one flips out on its own, or one's like not going in the deck, or like, so I try to really be sensitive to like things that can like grab my attention from the deck.
I do
and
that
that's
too.
An example.
Something will fall on if I'm shuffling and a card pops out and falls on the floor, I'm like, I'm use
done.
it.
Yeah, that's
and
the
it's
card.
kind of a chaos magic method of going about it.
Me too.
I will say that Ken's spirit guide did show up in the reading, so he was talking over his shoulder, and that was very fun to see.
So fucking cool.
Whoa,
So that was fun.
That.
So
I love that.
I'm hitting him up this week.
You should, because
For some reason, I feel like I
got a
I
coupon,
shied away
right?
from
Didn't
it.
he
I got
offer
like
you
a little
a-
nervous about it or something.
oh, you shouldn't at all, and he's just the loveliest. So
No, I mean, he's great.
you
yeah.
got to do it because we got to follow up. We got to know.
I know. All right, I'll do it.
Get your
This
read
week,
on it.
I'm
All right,
on it.
we're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, it's time for a segment that we haven't done on the show in quite some time.
Can't wait.
All right, everyone, it's time for the return of a long, dearly missed segment. I'm sure all of you have been dying for us to get back to this. A little bit renamed. It used to be known as the MUFON version of this, but now it's just good old-fashioned BCC UFO Roundup. Get on over here. Get on in. Come on there.
Gotcha.
So this is when we're going to take a look at some recent UFO sightings that have happened in the past month or so.
All right.
I've gone to, let's see.
Round them up, Michael.
The website is, I had it, it's in my notes. This is just ufoindex.com. It's very fun. You can just go check it out. People are putting up their personal UFO reports.
Oh.
There's some video. There's some photos. We got a couple photos in the ones that I selected today. There's also some people typing in all caps. They're
yelling. They're excited.
You know there are.
giving directions to the human race on how to be ready for disclosure. So you get a real mixed bag.
Avoid that stuff.
Some of this stuff is very.
So can you put
very
in
fun.
any city you want? And like,
Yeah, you can select states,
That's
and
cool.
then you can narrow it down that way. I just kind of looked at these aren't all in linear order, but most of these were from I would say February and March. We're just going to take a few
That's
of these.
pretty recent.
First one that I pulled was Colorado Springs, Colorado, on March 22nd, 2004. Colorado Springs,
Yeah.
Big UFO town.
and where I was born.
Yeah.
My
Wait, did you
husband.
say 2004?
No,
Or
2024.
Great. I was going to say.
I probably did
You
say
did
2004.
say, and then I was like, "Oh, that's not so
No.
recent."
It's, yeah.
It's like 20 years
Again,
ago.
there are times when
it
if people are not around me,
Okay.
I will be certain that I
catch it.
said the correct
And
thing,
that's why
I
we're
did
in the
not.
clubhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Woo! Okay.
All right, here we go. My husband was starting up his car, and I looked up at the stars while waiting for him in our front yard. There was a dark mass, what we thought to be a satellite flying over. I pointed up and asked if he saw it. He looked up and he was saying, "Oh yeah, it's just a satellite." And then the object zigzagged back and forth, sped up, and disappeared, going northeast over the horizon.
Satellites
that's not
don't do that.
satellite.
They don't do
That
that.
ain't no satellite. It ain't no Starlink.
Where was this?
Colorado Springs,
Right.
Colorado.
Right.
Just a few days ago, as
Damn,
of this
yeah,
record.
that's recent.
Could be military because Colorado Springs is a big military.
Oh yeah, they got a
Yeah,
lot. There's
yeah.
some dumb bases out there. Some
Yes,
dumbs
some-
out there.
You know it.
You know, it brings up with these drones now. It's probably getting harder to really find a case that's unidentified because these drones can do some pretty amazing things.
That's true,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? I don't know if they can zigzag and disappear. Like we know what the UFO does, and I'm with you 100%. Right? If it's like not moving linearly, if there's not any sort of aerial lights that are supposed to be on it, and it's like grabbing your attention telepathically, yeah, we got a problem.
This the black mass makes me think of black triangles.
Me too.
You know?
Sure.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
We're going to be talking more about black triangles over on the other side this week. I'm back in the I'm in the black triangle hole. All right, here's one from Tennessee. LaGuardo is
Love
the
Tennessee.
city. From March 10th, 2024. I was heading north on Route 109, and I passed LaGuardo, Tennessee, and was headed to Gallatin, Tennessee. At 11:40, I noticed what I initially thought was a flock of birds high in the sky. So it's daytime. As I attempted to identify what type of bird they were, they seemed to have disappeared. I looked again, and there they were. It got me curious enough to pull over and take a better look. They appeared to be stationary just a bit left of the highway and high in the sky. I couldn't tell exactly what it was, but there were quite a few of them, maybe around 20 altogether. They were either white or silver and were possibly in the shape of orbs. While remaining stationary in the sky, they did sort of move positions in the large cluster. Because of this, I really didn't think they could have been drones. The close proximity to each other and the way they crossed paths would have surely caused drone equipment to collide. There wasn't a cloud in the sky, yet they would all simultaneously disappear and then reappear. This happened several times. There was no sound. I took several pictures, but only a couple of them showed the objects. Unfortunately, the pictures really don't answer any of my questions either. Maybe someone else knows what it is. I had to be in Gallatin to meet someone at noon, so I couldn't stick around longer. But they were still there when I left. Now, we have a photo here.
Okay.
I've seen this phenomenon before. These are sort of those clusters of silver orbs in the sky.
Yeah, there was that big Mexico flap that there was a lot of this taking place, and in Brazil too.
Yeah. So I've seen this. Who knows, Riley?
I mean, drones absolutely can fly in very close proximity
Yes,
to
they
each
can.
other and not collide. So that part I'm like,
if you've been
okay.
to Disneyland Paris or watched any of the videos
Which is
on TikTok,
incredible what these things are doing. But
Yeah. So not that, but
But why?
you know what I can say for certainty about this is that this is a middle-aged dad.
Oh,
And
yeah.
The reason I know that is because he pulled over to identify a flock of birds.
Yes. But they're stationary. They're just hanging in the sky.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do think this gives me a little bit of let's say if on a scale of 1 to 5 classic saucers, I'll give this a 2.5 or 3.
Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah.
yeah, I like this as a UFO tale just because he got out, he observed it, he knows what birds are doing, and then remember Ben Marcinowski's story, something out of the sky, a bunch of particulate unidentifiables, and then they sort of coalesce, and so this is sort of like fits the pattern of what some of these people are observing.
Yeah.
I like this.
I mean, if we saw a bunch of stationary
and I
objects
really like
in the
his
sky, we'd be weirded
Photoshop.
out.
I mean, remember
Big
how
circle
excited you
blue.
guys got about a balloon?
Don't lump me into this group. Do not lump me into this group.
Imagine if there were 20 of them.
I do like his big blue circle from Photoshop. Right
Yeah,
there.
right there.
That's it.
That's what I'm looking at. All right, we got one more. This is from St. Patrick's Day this year, March 17th at about 3:40 a.m. I was parked at the Twin Arrows Casino in Arizona, facing east. Of course you were. 3:40 in the morning, out in the desert
Yeah,
casino.
you were. Yeah, you were, buddy.
When I know that is when you're gonna see some UFOs, by the way. When I noticed about 8 to 10 lights. It looked like stars or planes at first with their formation, but then some would get really bright, then fade to black, but zigzag and fly around each other in a circle. I got a picture from my iPhone 15 Pro Max of their formation with 5 in a another middle-aged flex. With 5 in a square and 1 top left dim light and 1 bottom dim light. They were over the New Mexico area, I am guessing near Shiprock and Standing Rock. As a truck driver, I see some of them often. I don't know how I can upload the picture here, though. After they did this formation several times, they disappeared towards Fort Wingate, New Mexico. Now, I can enlarge
Thank
this
you for
picture
delivering
for
our
everybody.
goods. Shout
Here we
out to
go.
all them truck drivers out there.
You take a look at this. This, again, says Black
Look at
Triangle
that. Oh, I
for me.
love
Very,
this.
very
I
Black
love
Triangle
this.
vibes. Yeah.
But he said that we can only see, but that's very Black Triangle vibes.
It looks geometric to me. I see
Finding
a
points.
I see an upside down pyramid.
Totally.
Yep. But apparently they can move independent, like move around and zigzag.
Dude, that's dope.
It's a cool one. I don't know what the hell that is, but I love it. I'm going to put these up on our Instagram at Bigfoot Collectors Club. You guys can take a look.
These little orbs of light, are they able to go away from the ship, dematerialize the ship, bring it back, and then create a ship again? It's like, remember that little game where like if you connect the snake, it'll make like a wall, and like or you know what I mean?
Talking
like,
about Snake?
Are you talking about Dig Dug?
maybe a little bit of something of both, but like I don't know. It's like if you connect the dots, right? Like it'll like actually like fill in that space,
Right.
I don't know. It's just sort of weird how all these triangle shapes, they have these like lights at their apexes, They move off and meander on their own, and then they come back to form the ship again.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
It's like they're the actual structure of the ship.
Yes.
It's like Voltron. It's basically like a big Voltron.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except
Voltron rules.
Except if
I was drowning.
except it is like Voltron,
Voltron
except
saved
if like
me.
except if the like lions were only the heads of the lion and
That's
not
all,
and not
right.
the bodies of the lions.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's very
that's good.
strange.
That's good.
You
I
know,
like that.
This to me, this is also why I think like we are not perceiving these things in actual 3-dimensional space.
Right.
That there's some sort of overlap.
A bleed.
You know,
I
where
agree.
we're not able to perceive it, or the solid parts of the ship are only visible on different like wavelengths that we can't.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know.
I love it.
It's weird.
I don't know.
Good stuff. Thank you, America, for writing down your UFO sightings.
Keep them coming.
Keep them coming. Oh, this reminds me. Over on our YouTube, by the way, we have over 150 episodes over there
Holy
at this
shit.
point.
More than that, yeah.
So if you're
Wow.
not binging the back catalog on YouTube right now, you should be. We're also, I want videos from you guys. So if you guys get any UFO videos, send them to us so we can put them up in our shorts playlist on YouTube. Speaking of which, Bryce,
We'll exploit your content.
we will.
Yeah.
But speaking of exploiting friends' content, Bryce, we got to get your
I know my
orange orb videos.
It's
up
in my
there.
favorites. I'll share it right now. So I want to kind of know from the fans how they're enjoying the YouTube page. Like, do they like connect their HDMI into their 65-inch Panasonic and watch our?
Well, you can just
moving
download the app on your Roku and watch it that way. You don't even
I'm
have
curious.
to connect with
Let
the
us
cord.
know. Let us know how you're enjoying all this incredible work these guys are doing, putting their show up on YouTube.
But by the time this episode comes up, I'll make sure that your orb videos are up there.
Okay, great. It's just that one I saw it on Halloween night. It was an orange orb, and I was staring at it, and I said, "Dawn, look at that orange orb," and she said, "Great, can we go now?"
Amazing. Okay, we'll be right back. All right, we're back, and it's time for this week's edition of High Strangeness. Now, Mr. Bryce Johnson,
Yep.
what topic have you brought in for us today?
Look at my body. I'm like legs spread askew.
You look like Baloo from
really getting into the,
let me
the
present
studio
myself.
live. Wait, now,
Jesus.
before we go into this, how about
Yeah.
a little chaos magic?
Let's do
Oh
it.
yeah.
I'm,
Okay, great.
I'm holding my deck of tarot cards.
Okay, great.
I'm just going to toss them over to you guys.
Okay, wait.
'Cause you guys were talking about the cards that jump out and all that
Oh,
stuff.
okay, great.
Okay.
I'm sitting on a chair. They're sitting on
I'm
the couch.
holding a microphone, trying to copy and paste.
So here it comes.
Okay.
Now, they all slid
all
towards
went to Bryce.
They
Bryce.
all, this one looks to
Now,
like,
are we going to ask a question?
I think is I don't do that. I
go, okay, so I'll say,
I interpret after the card.
okay, fair enough. I'll say, if my spirit guides are listening, which we know they are,
Right.
Always.
what is my guiding principle for today? What's just something I should be keeping in mind as I go about my day? That's a real
Oh,
easy
that's
one.
interesting.
We'll definitely notice that the deck chose Bryce because
Oh, wait,
I just
wait, I gotta
openly
go.
tossed it to the couch and every
This
card
guy's
bounced
looking
to
at
Bryce.
me because of the I see the shadow. I like its
Okay.
shadow that on my mouse
All right.
pad. So I'm gonna. There's mine.
All right.
Okay.
Should I flip it?
Yeah, flip it.
What do we got?
Well,
The
Chariot.
All right,
That's
the
Major
Chariot.
Arcana, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Always.
All right, the
I'm
Chariot.
momentum.
Power. You're,
Nah, that's not true.
You're
I-
pulsing forward.
I'm pulsing.
The Chariot is
Oh
a
my
card
God!
of
Look at the black
action.
and white sphinxes. Did I
Yeah,
tell you guys the
describe-
time I
describe what
lucid
you're looking
dreamed
at on
into
the
the
card
Hall
for
of Sphinx
everybody.
to look for our missing Hall of Records in my lucid dreams, and it was amazing. Okay, yeah, the Chariot.
You take a
Let's
look-
ask ChatGPT. Hey, Chat.
Oh,
what's
I got
this-
I got it lined up. But what's the describe people what the Chariot looks like?
Okay. Oh yeah, that's
since
a good
this is not
idea.
visual
So it's
medium.
a young androgynous man, and he's wearing some sort of princely garb. Below him at his podium is two sphinxes, one black, one white, and in the background are some castles. There seems to be an emblem of a top, a shield of a top. The number is 7. What else do we see here?
Well, the I like biddytarot.com.
Okay.
The Chariot keywords are control, willpower, success, action, and determination.
Yeah, that's me lately.
The Chariot is a card of willpower, determination, and strength. You have discovered how to make decisions in alignment with your values with the Lover's card, and now you are taking action on those decisions.
Yeah.
When the Chariot appears in a tarot reading, take it as a sign of encouragement.
Right.
You have set your objectives, and you are now channeling your inner power with a fierce dedication to bring them to fruition. Yeah. When you apply discipline, Bryce, commitment, and willpower to achieve your goals, you will succeed.
Woo.
Sounds like somebody's about to nail this high strangeness.
That's right.
Love that.
And of course, it goes on, and there's more of it.
That's really cool. So, what card stands out to you, or should we move on? Or
no,
I don't think so.
I want one.
Yeah, he's like,
no, let's move on.
Yeah,
let's shake it up a bit.
I got it.
You want me to throw them at you again?
Here we go.
He's found one.
Oh.
Why did you pick that one?
I have the 7. It's just the one that called to me. It's the 7 of coins in Pentacles. Work. Yes. This is
Michael uploading the YouTube
That literally
page.
is Michael working on the YouTube.
It shows a guy
just like
staring at a bush, waiting for money to grow on the bush.
That's us waiting for the AdSense to turn on our YouTube.
This could not be more true to my world right now.
Oh, no.
Here we go. Long-term view, sustainable results, perseverance, investment. Okay. The 7 of Pentacles, we're not looking at reverse, shows you understand the value of putting in time and energy now for longer term rewards and have a strong desire to invest in sustainable results. You are not looking for quick wins. You also want to make sure you're putting your attention on the right areas instead of wasting time and effort on tasks that will not deliver any value. Yes, I have this is kind of how my readings have been going lately. I'm in boring working man mode right now.
Totally.
And it's just like, have fun, buddy.
You just got the Japanese salary man card.
You are building something, man. You are doing foundational work, and every pyramid needs that.
It's true.
We can't be the
capstone.
Transmitting the messages to the aliens.
And Riley's just all the cool energy that's in between.
He's the Queen's chamber.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's how we go. All right, well, that was fun. Great. All right,
funny.
Bryce, what topic of high strangeness do you have for us this week?
Well, speaking of testing our psychic muscles, you notice I haven't put it on our little document here, Michael.
Nope.
What do you?
We did notice that.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure he did notice
Secrets.
that. What do you think my story of high strangeness is about this week?
Well, you mentioned psychic powers, but I also know that you've been reading books on consciousness lately. So you found another
card jumped off the couch.
The card jumped off the couch.
Go on.
For those who want to know, it was the King of Pentacles. That's probably going to be for me.
Get that money.
Just kidding. But Bryce, I know that you've been talking a lot in the background of consciousness lately. Or did you lose something? He's standing up. He's digging around in his pocket.
Just taking my jacket off. I'm
He's
getting
getting
comfy. I'm
ready.
in the
I thought you were about to perform a magic
boxer
trick for
before
us.
the match.
I'm hanging out here with Nova. It's so good to be back
I
in the
know.
clubhouse.
I miss
you
Nova
guys.
so much. Nova's here, everybody.
And the fans are enjoying it because they don't have to deal with my stupid fucking lag.
We're also enjoying that.
God, sorry,
It's the
you guys.
happiest I've seen Riley in
We've been trying to
years.
get to the bottom of it. It's mysterious.
It
We're
really
going to
is.
work on it.
Ghost
but
in the machine.
we thank you for your patience.
Let's let this 95-year-old man unpack his entire outfit before he gets comfortable.
Seriously? You're going to offer us mints next or something?
Well, Michael, your psychic muscles are pretty spot on because we are going to be talking about consciousness in this week's story of high strangeness. As I paste it right there, I'm going to need to up that to another text font size.
I like how you waited to drop it on us. That was a good move.
Okay. I'm going to just...
Good thing there wasn't a commercial break where we could have done this.
I got you.
Thank you, dude.
I got you.
Wow,
I got
Riley
you.
right now is making my text bigger for me because I've got a mic in one hand, my laptop on my lap. I'm looking at Michael and
There you
Riley.
go.
This is beautiful.
How's that for you?
Okay, this is good. Oh, so good. Here we go. I'd like to start with a quote, you guys. Just focus on me, Michael.
Don't read ahead.
Yeah, that's it. Close your computer.
Okay.
This is
I got
Bryce
a little
time.
sneak peek.
Consciousness is the end game. It all leads to consciousness. Bryce Johnson.
great start. I love a self. I was like, that's a good quote. Who said that?
Thank you, I did. Just now. So I've been exploring this idea that it's super helpful to view consciousness in all of its expressions and manifestations as existing on a spectrum. From the simplest crystalline structures to the most complex superorganisms, including some that we may not have even thought about, that contain, that inhabit consciousness in some form or another. A spectrum of consciousness, if you will. The only question is, where do we humans fall on this spectrum? The Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines consciousness as the quality or state of being aware, especially of something within oneself. But being aware of what? And how much? That's the question. Famed Fortean investigator John Keel had a similar theory in regards to the paranormal. He posited that other non-human intelligences existed just outside of our perceivable senses, and that sometimes these entities, or ultra-terrestrials as he coined them, could bleed over into our reality. You know, for example, like we can't see gamma or X or microwaves, but we know they exist, right? Right?
We could see them with equipment.
Exactly, Riley. But they're outside of our central nervous system's sensory equipment, right?
Totally,
As
totally,
humans,
totally.
we cannot perceive them.
With the naked eye.
Right.
Yeah.
He called this little theory
Sexy naked eyes.
his super spectrum theory, which we discussed in detail on episode number 83, The Super Spectrum, with Nate Cordry. So we need not go into too much detail of that. So in honor of the late, great John Keel and his super spectrum theory, I would like to propose my new theory.
Nice.
The super duper spectrum theory.
Nice.
What do you guys think?
One of these episodes. Let's go for it.
I mean, right off the bat, excellent name.
I thought so too.
You're building on what's come before.
Yeah,
Standing on the shoulders of giants.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's all. I hope you wouldn't mind. It's just adding a duper. So the first thing we'll need to do in order to explore this super duper spectrum theory is for all of us to agree, at least for the sake of this thought experiment, that first and foremost, consciousness can and does exist outside of and independent of ourselves. In other words, consciousness is not an emergent property of the brain, but in fact, the opposite. It's consciousness that produces everything in our perceivable universe, including ourselves. I know, totally cray, right?
Well, right off the bat, I mean, you've hit on like the fundamental question of philosophy, which is, can I prove that you guys exist? Which I can't. Like,
No.
I can't ever fundamentally know that any form of consciousness exists other than my own, and that is sort of the fundamental stopping block, and that's sort of what kicked off modern philosophy, is trying to grapple with that problem. You know, coming from like the Descartes, like I think therefore I am, and then how can I know that you think? You know, and so you start picking that apart. So you're going down a good path here.
These
I like
classes
it.
at Berkeley are paying off.
Wow. Wow.
Finally.
Well, I like that. And I also like using the analogy of seeing our brains as sort of a receiver of consciousness. Much like a radio or television receives signals from an outside source, amplifies it, and presents it. Perhaps we humans are similar. We receive our consciousness at birth, we amplify it, add to it, and present it to the world. I'm the Bryce Johnson channel.
That's in the premium package.
That's right. To take it a step further, I'd like for us to imagine the idea that consciousness is not just limited to human beings, but exists within plants and animals, heck, even rocks and minerals. And yes, you too, Lemurian crystals. And for funsies, let's extend our spectrum of consciousness to all of our friends we've discussed here on the show. From Bigfoot to alien greys to Nessie, Dogman, fairies, lizard of skateboard swamp, the whole lot of them. In other words, and again, for our little thought experiment here, we will imagine that consciousness pervades everything and everyone, including but not limited to non-human intelligences, many of which we haven't even begun to explore or acknowledge. And yes, while accepting the consciousness of a beautiful flower is quite different from acknowledging the consciousness of your little poochie woochie. Right, Nova? Right, baby? You get the gist. There are levels to the game. Now, in his book Cosmic Consciousness, a study of the evolution of the human mind by Richard Maurice Buck, Buck suggests that throughout history there have been those rare few individuals who were somehow able to not only recognize themselves as an extension of the ultimate source of consciousness, but were also able to tap into higher levels of co-creation with it. Folks like Jesus, Muhammad, and the Buddha. And this stage of consciousness evolution is what is commonly referred to as cosmic consciousness. And while there have been many to tune into that cosmic consciousness channel briefly, I think what makes those three special, and others like them, was and is their ability to maintain that level of consciousness while existing on our three-dimensional Earth.
Now, where are you putting Elvis on that spectrum?
Hold that thought, we'll get there. Or as Jesus more eloquently spoke, render therefore unto Caesar the things which are Caesar's, and unto God the things that are God's. But perhaps...
Wait, hold on. Can I pause for a second?
Of course.
Jesus lived at the same time as Caesar?
Yeah.
That is wild.
Well, yeah.
Or after?
No, it was around the same time. Because
Wow.
he was talking about the Roman coins, and he was like, the people
Right.
are like, why do we have to pay
Oh, right,
taxes
the Romans
and do
and the
all this shit?
Christians, and I'm really showing how.
And he was like,
dumb
why
I
do we
am.
have to deal with government? He's like, well, you got to render unto Caesar what's Caesar's. And then, so he was basically talking about the separation of like, yeah, there's the material world and there's the spiritual world.
Bingo.
Wild.
And you have to pay taxes, even if I'm the son of God.
Bingo. But perhaps,
Paraphrasing.
even as great as J-Rock is there are still other levels to this consciousness spectrum. Where does consciousness begin? Was it here before the Big Bang, since time immemorial? At the molecular level? Is it encoded into every cell of our bodies like our DNA is? What's the highest end of the consciousness spectrum? Does it far surpass even our greatest avatars? Does it extend beyond our solar system, our perceivable universe, our perceivable universes? Does the ultimate source of consciousness get its consciousness from somewhere or something else? I don't know. I don't know. But it's certainly something to think about.
What? Are you okay?
The fuck? I just
Wait a minute.
I have to lift now.
Did you just slip into cosmic consciousness?
Yeah. Are you all right?
I know I have a lift now.
Like, your eyes glazed over. And your whole face shifted.
Oh
Are you okay?
Yes, let me hit this sentence again.
Keep all of this.
But it's certainly something to think about.
It's
Because
something to think about.
as molecular biologist JBS Haldane once pointed out, the universe is not only stranger than we imagine, it is stranger than we can imagine. And that's it.
All right.
All right.
Let's get into this.
Also, yeah, before Bryce fully melts down.
That is so funny.
Yes, I just double checked. Caesar died in 44 BC.
Wow.
Or AD. Sorry. Wait, let me check.
Yeah, it would be AD.
No, BC. So he was just before. He was
Okay,
just before. So he would have been.
Wow, timelines.
Yeah.
What a trip.
So the Roman Empire existed when
He
Jesus was
basically
around.
folded
2,000
that
years
whole
ago.
thing with the start of Christianity, which came with, a few centuries later.
Right, of course.
Yeah. So there you go. So yeah.
Yeah, but you're right, Riley. I was just trying to tackle that as a topic and avoid as much work as possible by reading other books and doing
We know.
research.
Sure.
Yeah. Sure.
So I spitballed it a little bit here.
I like it.
You know,
Wait,
the
well,
super
let me
duper
ask you
spectrum
this
theory.
to start to probe this a bit.
Please.
So how do you define consciousness? What is your definition in this super duper spectrum?
Okay, so
theory?
there are levels to it in that book, right? So he describes sort of like there's animal consciousness, which really can't be aware or think about of them being animals. Nova doesn't sit here thinking about what it's like or ponder what it's like to be Nova, right? I think the animals exist.
Is that sentience then?
Not sure. That's for another
Self-awareness?
conversation, right? It's sort of finding where these lines exist, moving away from animal conscious. We also have plant consciousness, right? How is that defined? How does that experienced, right? It doesn't have our sensory organ system, so it experiences consciousness at a different level, right? At an entirely different level. And thank you. And then so might something else, like an alien or something, right? We're all different organisms, so we all experience consciousness at a different level. Now, so after animal consciousness, you get to this human consciousness, which is sort of a self-awareness, this idea to ponder, who am I, right? After that, there's the level up from that is sort of this cosmic consciousness, which I referred to, which is this sort of recognition that, there's a consciousness that extends beyond that of just self-awareness. So it's an awareness of a larger scope of reality. And then from there, who knows what else is, because that's all that's really been posited in literature. That's as far as it goes. The ultimate source, the source of creation, God is the universe, interchangeable. I sort of like to think about like that as like modular. Like what if God has a God what if that the
God is a piece of consciousness that's
here's a way
like
to think
from
of,
a super duper God.
Sure. Here's a way to think of it, right? Like we have how many different oceans in this planet? 7 different oceans?
The 7 seas.
Okay, great. Think of the seas as like a consciousness. We're going to pull from the Pacific Ocean as our God consciousness. I'm a cup of water. I dip in, boom. I'm conscious. I'm a little cup. I'm going to add to it. I'm going to like free will. This cup's going to be fucking Bryce Johnson, right? And then when I die, that shit goes back to the Pacific Ocean. That God consciousness. Now, what if there's the Atlantic Ocean consciousness or Indian Ocean consciousness and it macro out there from there? We're just all on a globe, on a little fucking tiny marble dot. What if there's consciousness beyond that, right? So this thing extends. All we know, the highest level we've seen on our spectrum is like these avatars like Jesus, Muhammad, who have sort of inhabited, co-create Buddha, Gautama, who inhabited this sense of this cosmic consciousness and interfaced with it.
And just if you're looking at them purely like take the religion out of it or take the history out of it.
Please.
If you're just looking at them as symbols, those are figures that symbolize where spirit and matter are connected at its highest form, right?
Exactly.
Because it's the materialized God.
Exactly. And that's
Earth.
why you get these avatars that can turn water into wine and manipulate the reality spatial structure that they're inhabiting.
Now, do you think... Are you saying that if we were tapped into cosmic consciousness, we would literally have magic powers like that?
Okay, yes.
Or reality-bending
there's a
powers?
caveat. There's a caveat. And that caveat is this. In this book, there talks about this one element that all these guys share, these guys and gals throughout history, and that's moral aptitude. That's this sense of high moral elevation. In other words, they are able to empathize with the suffering.
That's what I was about to get to. So I was going to say, what's the root of morality then?
What is the root of morality? Where can we identify with ourselves as the other? Can I see myself in Nova and not harm Nova? Can I see myself in a flower and not pluck it? Can I see myself in a little ant that walks by me, right? Where is the... I'm losing my train.
No, you're on it.
Where's the line?
Right.
Right, because is it immoral to pick a flower?
Right, and so
no.
in that book, Cosmic Consciousness, which I reference, he talks about sort of like all these avatars had this special ingredient of like, for the perfect example is Gautama, who turned into Buddha. Buddha is just a title. He decided, I'm not going to stay and maintain this cosmic. I'm not going to just vibrate at this level of cosmic consciousness and jizz all over my fucking, cosmic whatever. He's like, I'm going to come back. Oh, I shouldn't say that.
No, that's fine.
Oh, okay. Well, what I'm saying is live in ecstasy.
I think it's okay.
Live in ecstasy as the Buddhahood, right?
Yeah.
That's what I meant. Buddha decides to not do that and come back until every being is sentient. And so he becomes the working Buddha, the Bodhisattva.
Yeah, the Bodhisattva, yeah.
Right. So that's that moral aptitude. Is he's saying, consciousness is great. Cosmic consciousness is great. I recognize myself within the creator. But hey, man, there's a lot of work to do back here at home. I got to go help the others, And so that's what that is. But I like this idea of exploring
not only the spectrum of consciousness, but is our consciousness just privy to what's happening in this our perceivable universe? You know, maybe there's other universes outside where going back to the ocean analogy.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're setting up a model where there is like some, let's say, amorphous or fifth dimensional structure of consciousness, or let's call it water, you know, something that looks like water or moves like water or air, you know,
It can inhabit multiple states
as just a way to picture it in your brain. Then there's no reason that you couldn't keep zooming out further and further. And it's like all universes are connected by this. All planes of reality are connected by this. And this is sort of the blood, the life force that flows through.
Well, and you said
everything.
It's just a model. It's just a framework for us to think about these things, to provide sort of some skeletal structure to the thought experiment, some scaffolding, so that you can zoom out like that and go, oh my God, maybe... Wow. What if what if God has a God and it just could go on, and it's just trying to extend how far you can imagine about these things.
Yeah, it's that's infinity. That's a lot. I mean,
and where does Bigfoot's consciousness exist? I mean, he's like this guardian
of the forest. What I've been trying to get to since the beginning of this podcast.
I imagine that he exists on some like high level on this super duper spectrum theory, and that's why he can dematerialize, shift, camouflage, cloak, speak telepathically to people who experience him, her, all that. You know, there's like he's just on a fucking another level, man.
So in this model that you're putting forward, you're saying that consciousness exists sort of, it's separate and outside of our own mind.
Yes.
And that, so it is the source of that, but it also permeates all things. That's what you're putting forward.
Yes. We only are here because like something is consciously manifesting us.
So it's not to do
in
with,
a dream space.
You're saying it's not like the source of it is not the wetware hardware of our brains. It's something outside.
The source of it also created the wetware hardware of our brains.
Yes, but if your brain gets damaged, your ability to inhabit that higher levels of consciousness might be altered or inhibited. Do you know what I mean? The brain is the receiver. You know, there are these chakra centers, these other wheels that can provide other spiritual and psychical access to these dimensions, but it's the brain that's the fucking
house
that runs the computer.
Cockpit.
So speaking of computer, in this model, do you think that consciousness requires a physical body?
No, because a plant doesn't have a physical body.
Sure it does.
Sure it does. Okay, right. Can consciousness exist on a level outside of the physical plane? Absolutely, yes. It permeates
It would have to, based on what you're saying.
This is what all the esoteric philosophies have been talking about: the ether zone, the Akashic record, this permeable source where information is gathered. You know, this morphic resonant field.
Right, which is maybe what dark matter is.
Yeah,
or whatever,
absolutely. And it's like you know, where everything that is pulled from, like everything is recorded, right? Everything, every thought, every blink, and when it goes back to that ocean, the Pacific Ocean, all of that gets stored into the cloud of the ocean. You know, all that information gets stored, and people have access to it, and things have access to it, plants have access to it. And aliens have access to it.
So where do you think...
So you're telling me that plants can remember the time I shit my pants after I got off the bus in 3rd grade?
Perhaps.
Didn't make it home in time?
saying when you dip...
you left your mark on
when
the
I
Akashic
die,
record.
they'll be like, plants will remember that?
I'm saying when you dip your cup into that ocean, maybe there's some seaweed in it.
What do you think about synthetic consciousness? How does that play into all this?
Technology is an extension of ourselves. So anything synthetic is just human. Well, with human is a term, a concept, which... Anything that comes from us is us.
It's nature.
So
technology's nature.
Do you think it's possible for us to create a self-aware AI?
We're supposed to create a self-aware. That's our job.
Yeah.
We are here, I believe, to move this seed off planet.
Yeah.
We are the seed, and the technological membrane will house us as we move through the cosmos.
Yeah, we're the caterpillar.
That's it.
Yeah.
We are in metamorphosis.
All right. Well,
Let's scramble them guts, baby.
Let's go. Thank you, Bryce.
You're welcome.
This is like turned into a real like BCC dorm hang.
Yeah, very
I
dorm
feel
hang.
like, yeah,
vibes.
very
my
dorm
God.
hang
So
vibes.
good to
I
be
love
back.
it. Perfect. Bryce just came back from spring break,
Yeah,
man,
and he's like, what if a rock?
He met his friends in Montauk, and he's got some real cool ideas now.
All I was trying to do was avoid work of writing on high strangeness.
Yeah, we know. All right, everyone. Before we move on to this week's Collector's Corner, let's swing by BCC The Other Side and thank some friends who've recently joined us over there, patreon.com/BigfootCollectorsClub. Andrew Nigro,
Yes, thank you.
Sean LeBlanc, Cosmeteer.
Thanks, Sean. Welcome.
Sarah Crees.
Thank you, Sarah.
Maggie Cunningham.
Thanks, Maggie.
Ryan Langford.
Thank you, Ryan.
Becky Blankenship.
Thanks, Becky.
Heath Taylor.
Thanks, Heath.
Sean Ochaki.
Thanks, Sean.
Alex Vaughn.
Thanks, Alex.
Robert Miller.
Thanks, Robert.
Isaiah Sifunitz.
I...
Cosmeteer.
Thank you and welcome.
Sifuntez.
Sifuntez.
Isaiah Sifuntez. Cosmeteer. Thank you. Isaiah. Abby Henderson.
Thank you, Abby.
Caleb Gosselin.
Thanks, Caleb.
Sarah Shea.
Thanks, Sarah.
Cosmeteer.
Welcome to the ranks, Sarah.
And Warp I-9, it's War Pig, the song by Black Sabbath. That's their full name.
Sick.
Favorite name of the week.
Crush it.
Yeah, that's a
Thank
good one.
you. Head over to patreon.com/BigfootCollectorsClub to unlock total access to 3 bonus episodes every month and the BCC Discord. Upgrade to the Cosmeteer membership to unlock 3 music tracks from ultra-terrestrial producer Riley, as well as ad-free episodes.
That's right, baby.
Beginning with this episode
very
today.
Killer.
So if you don't want to hear us hawk ads and you don't want to listen to ads interrupt the show, then you can head over to patreon.com/BigfootCollectorsClub. Join the Cosmeteer. You'll get everything that we have to offer. All right. Time to swing over to the Collector's Corner, and we're going to do a special edition of this. This is the old mailbox edition.
Oh, man. I know
We
few
have a
mail
lot of
call.
goodies.
Mail call.
That you guys have sent us. Sorry, it's taken a while to get all of this. We're just going to open some packages from you guys from Rhonda G, from Fayetteville, Arizona.
Warren G's little sister.
It's to the Bigfoot Boys from Rhonda B.
Oh, Rhonda B.
Well, it says G over here, but maybe
look at that. It's Nessie on a calendar.
It's a Mythical Creatures 2024 wall calendar. We're a few months late, but guys, guess what? This is great because I'm doing.
I like those.
I have another calendar at home. We're doing high monsters of the national parks over on the other side, so we can add these to those.
These guys are all coming out at sunset and dusk. I
Yeah,
love the
beautiful.
coloring.
Great
It's
art. We
Beautiful.
We love that. Bryce, what do you got over there?
Yeah, all right. I got
Thank
a box
you,
here.
Rhonda.
Should I say who it's from or keep it
Just
anonymous?
say first name.
All right. Hey, thanks, Daniel, for this. You know what's up.
There's a box here.
Oh, man.
This is like Christmas morning.
ASMR.
He really getting a real.
Just remember to talk into it after you finish.
Oh boy. Now we're off the box and on the couch.
We're just doing ASMR now.
Oh, that's the worst sound in the world.
Yeah. Yes, dude. Oh, I'm really okay.
What is it?
This is Hours of Fun. It's a Willow Creek Bigfoot fur with bloody skin.
Oh, it's a custom Willow Creek toy.
Awesome.
Yes.
Death by Toys.
Thank
These
you,
are rad.
Daniel.
Oh my
I've been
God,
waiting
that's
for this one. This
cool.
is from Death by Toys. Appreciate
Right
you.
on.
Yeah,
Wow.
check this out. And I'm seeing Bobcat today, so I will
Oh my
get
God,
Oh,
amazing.
perfect. Yeah, there's
One of
an
these.
extra one for Bobcat.
Look at
Yes,
that. You
there
sent it
is.
straight to
That's
Bobcat.
rad.
synchronicity. Thanks,
All right.
Daniel.
Riley's
Wow.
opening up a package here.
All right.
Special mailbox edition of Collector's Corner.
Let's see what we.
This is from looks like it's from Manbot Coffee.
Manbot Coffee. Oh my goodness, there's a really nice letter that was looks like it was typed on an actual typewriter.
Love it. Now, who sent this over?
Oh,
This
John
came
Keel.
from from Chris C, aka the Creature from Manbot Coffee Roasters.
Sweet.
Oh.
we love
wow.
our coffee
We
over
do. We're
here.
all
Cryptids
big
and
coffee
So what
coffee.
flavor
Like
did we get?
Let's see, we
best
got it. Well,
friends.
for Startsies, we have a T-shirt.
Ooh, guys,
A
go check out Manbot
Roasters
Coffee.
T-shirt, and it's black and pink.
Yeah.
Love that.
I'm a
says,
splash. Oh, go ahead.
Manbot sells coffee. I love coffee. And
Yeah,
there's
I
a
fucking
picture of a
love
robot.
coffee. I'm a
Seems like
splash
that's-
almond guy now.
That seems
Riley,
like
you
that's
turned me
Bryce-
into a
that's
splash
Bryce,
almond guy.
Bryce size T-shirt right there.
Yeah. All right, I'll take it.
That's right. Ooh, and we got 3 bags of coffee. Oh, very cool. Like hand made looking stickers and
ASMR it.
yeah, great. Let's see. Here we go.
Stickers, guys. Stickers. Do you guys like stickers? They stick to stuff.
ASMR honestly kind of gives me the creeps because there's something about it that feels weirdly sexual.
I like doing it.
It just sort of makes me uncomfortable.
Michael, you read a letter like an old man.
Well, I can't see anything. That's why.
He's got a.
I don't have my reading glasses.
He's got a
on.
Christmas card in his hand.
What kind of coffee did we
Yo,
get?
this coffee is rad. So we got Witch King.
Woo!
I think that will be my bag.
Whole beans.
And we have a bag of Forbidden Planet. That seems like a Bryce bag.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Done.
And for
That's
Michael,
one of my favorite sci-fi movies.
Oh, really? I'll trade you.
Oh, well, there you
I'm easy.
Trade it up. And then
Here.
you get, Bryce, Hug Punch.
Hug punch. Perfect.
Oh, right on.
Okay.
I haven't tried this coffee yet, but I fully endorse this coffee
Yeah,
company.
let's do
Everyone
it.
go buy Man Bought Coffee.
We have another package over here from our friend Rebecca, producer on Aerial Phenomenon. She sent us some nice herbs and a
groovy.
little Chewbacca dog toy.
Oh, beautiful.
And hard copies of Aerial Phenomenon, which if you
Nice.
guys have not
sick.
watched, you got to check out. We also got a nice care package from Derek Hayes and David Flora over at Shadows of the Desert, High Strangeness in the Brago Triangle, also streaming right now. So check out both of those movies.
I'm wearing my brand new Shadows of the Desert hoodie. It's very cozy.
It's very cozy. Thank you, Rebecca. This is all great.
This feels like Christmas.
Oh.
It is.
Oh, I got
And
it.
then we've got
I got a
some more
Bigfoot
calendars.
2024 calendar here.
Getting
from,
a little started a
wow.
little
Are
late here,
Are we
everybody.
getting
Wow.
a note on our
look at
your
this.
scheduling here from our
Bigfoot.
listeners?
Well, I
Dangerous
didn't
encounter.
Trying to
check.
get me to
This
get the Cosmeteer
I-
to drop on a
this
more
is
regular
great.
basis.
Maybe.
wow. Okay.
This is cool. This has got like an attack at Ape Canyon. The Ape
Oh,
Canyon
and I
attack.
got some Big Dipper waxworks. Oh, yeah.
There's
Thanks.
February is Bigfoot attacking a hog.
Oh, my
Well,
God.
we're
And
each-
there's a card
we're each
here
going home with a calendar.
from Bethany
my-
B.
Bigfoot on a
Cosmeteer.
school bus.
Oh, my gosh.
This is
Cool.
very
Thank you,
cool.
Bethany B. Cosmeteer.
Thank
I
Oh,
will
you,
I
read
guys.
recognize
this.
that name.
I
That's
will
cool.
read this to the boys off site.
thanks,
This is
Bethany.
great. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks so much for your gifts, guys. Sorry, I hadn't been by the P.O. box.
Paranormal Christmas
I
kind
know,
of.
this is
yeah.
awesome.
Bigfoot Collectors Club, P.O. Box 1107, Hollywood, California 90078.
Send
in
us
case
cool
you wanna-
shit.
Send us your
Send us
stuff.
some stuff. Thanks, everybody. All right, we're crossing over to the other side for a slightly better researched story of high strangeness, I'll say. Just slightly.
What are you talking
Just
about?
a
I had
little,
quote in
slightly.
there.
We're going to be talking about some Black Triangle stuff over there as my Black Triangle rabbit hole continues throughout 2024. Until next week, good night.
And go get regressed.
I love that you counted your quote.
Yeah.
Why find a quote when you can just make the quote out of your own mouth?
There you said it. You quote on that. Bigfoot Collectors Club is produced by Riley Bray and Michael McMillan and scored and engineered by Riley Bray. Our theme song, Come Alone, is by Suneaters, courtesy of Lotuspool Records. Do us a favor and support the show and unlock 3 bonus episodes every month by becoming a member of our Patreon, BCC The Other Side, which can be found at patreon.com/BigfootCollectorsClub.